We're not in the past anymore. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you, I thought this entire thing was gonna be about the past. Okay. Oops. I guess I went on for a little too long there. Roughly 2 hours. Something like that happened? I had no idea. None of the case files I read went into such detail. Well, I doubt there would be anything in there that would be inconvenient to the prosecution. Especially with that Von Karma at the head. How did the investigation go from there? The desserts had disappeared from the victim's room, so the investigation hit a rough patch. Thanks to that, it took about a whole year before a verdict was handed down. 1 whole year? This was before the whole 3-day pre-trial system was established. Trials didn't need to finish in the short amount of time that they do now. Man, wouldn't that be incredibly nice? I see. Did they ever find out why the victim's dessert disappeared? Well, kinda. His dessert was like a candy ice sculpture made from sherbet. Since it was made from ice, the general consensus was that it had melted. However, that might not quite be the case. What do you mean? This museum used to be Mr. Master's mansion, the stage of the IS-7 incident. And in this very place, they're exhibiting the Sherbert Salon from 18 years ago. The victim's dessert? Yep. Though it could be just a replica of the original. And that's why Uncle Ray had to come today to check it out. And for your old man, too. Now then, let's get a move on and check out the room. I'm pretty sure it's over in the Winter Palace. Okay, sure. The Winter Palace should be through yonder door. Eh? It's locked up. That's odd. They've already opened the museum. Mr. Shields, according to the pamphlet we received at the entrance, the Winter Palace is over here. But then that would be the wrong room. Interesting. Really? I could have sworn it was this one. All right, let's go. We gotta confirm the truth of what happened 18 years ago. The delights! It's them! The cameos, man! Oh, like no, straight up legit, I like those two a lot. Man, it's still as cold as ever. Uncle Ray's gonna freeze over. Seems the Winter Palace lives up to its name. It's like a freezer in here. With the light dimmed like this, it's almost as if the room itself is made of ice. I think the control panel for the room temperatures is back on the back wall. I keep having a hard time switching between voices. Let's try to not let these things melt this time. Miles, why don't you check what temperature it's set at for me? Uncle Ray's gonna give the curator a piece of his mind later. It's way too cold in here. They're trying to keep ice sculptures working in here. Very well. But if you want to look around the room a bit, feel free to stay or freeze to your heart's content. I'll get the camera ready. I want to take some pictures of this in place and show it to your old man. Understood. Can I talk to the lights? I can! Oh. How about this? I'll yell out, Master Mask is here. Yes, it's me, I'm Master Mask. Good, good. Wait, Ronnie, if you say that, you'll get arrested. Come on, if we don't plan properly, we won't be able to sell it. What are these two talking about? Don't worry about it. Oh, okay, it doesn't look like they're gonna play a big role in anything, but it's so cool they're here. Oh, that's great. Okay. Also, do you have horns, small child? There's a boy with a school bag. Did he come to the art gallery by himself? She even quit her job in order to run this museum. I don't really get it. Perhaps one of his parents knows the curator? Interesting. Okay, well, you told me to go check this thingy out. What we got here? Mr. Shields, I can't find the temperature control panel. All right, they keep it where it's hard to find. Just one moment. Oh, it's locked. Makes sense. They wouldn't want the guests changing the temperature themselves. According to the pamphlet, the Winter Palace has a temperature of 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Now that is cold. Yes, that actually is cold. Not like the previous, like what, 58? Sheesh. Now Uncle Ray's gonna freeze to death. I guess I'll need to find someone to share body heat with. Preferably a beautiful lady. Well, there is one in the room, but she's obviously taken. Oh, are you trying to freeze me to death as well with those cold eyes? Of course not. That's just how I look at all times. Okay. Is there anything else of note going on here? Manfred von Karma, Gregory Edgeworth. I think Dover's iced over. I get it. Body was discovered inside a chocolate chest made by Jeffrey Master. The death was due to blunt trauma to the head given by a rock salt lamp. Blood was shed. The defendant, Mr. Master, was found guilty of murder and is now currently serving jail time. Damn. That sucks. Alright, well, let's take an actual look at the hero ice sculptures. Two sculptures displayed here. These sculptures are replicas of the desserts that vanished 18 years ago. Impressive, huh? These sculptures made of ice? Yes. My father never got to see these ice sculptures. And now, 18 years later, I'm standing before them. Miles, sorry to bother you while you're deep in thought. Could you turn this way a little? Like this? Yeah, like that. Mr. Shields, you're not... Say cheese! Edgeworth looks so not okay with this. Mr. Shields, please don't take pictures of me. I'd much prefer if there were not physical evidence of my existence on this earth. Sorry, my bad. I just wanted to make sure the camera works okay. That camera looks quite old. Yeah, well, that's because it's an old-fashioned camera. You know, an instant camera. It automatically develops the photos after shooting. Pretty cool, huh? Yes, I know. I'm not an idiot, though I've never used one. I don't know if he's ever touched anything. Like, seriously, man. Edgeworth always has somebody else do everything for him. You're quite the know-it-all. You really are the old man's son. Could you move a bit? I want to take some more photos of the room. Alright, whatever. Off he goes, I suppose. His face has taken on an unusually serious expression. He's probably thinking about the IS-7 incident. And I snapped a bunch. They're already developed, see? I'm sure these will be handy for something at some point. He shoved them in my face before I could reply. Well, I have one more question for you, Mr. Know-It-All. Do you know what these two sculptures represent? I mean... No. I think I see a lady in a cloth, a harp, a bowl that's emerging from some clouds, the Zodiac, maybe? The sculptures... Oh! Zodiac. There you go. The sculptures of Taurus and Gemini from the winter constellations. Ah, bingo! Not bad, Miles. That's probably why they call this room the Winter Palace. I wonder why Gemini and Taurus. Huh. Uncle Ray is feeling generous today, so I'll give you a copy of this photo, too. Thanks? I'm sure it'll definitely come in handy. Why not? Are these replicas of the constellation desserts that were made 18 years ago? Yeah, looks like these two sculptures are also made out of sherbet. Uncle Ray's only seen the real sculptures in photos. But these sculptures look like the real deal. This was what you wanted to show me. Yeah, I think your old man would have wanted you to see it as well. I'm sorry, Uncle Ray didn't have the courage to come here alone. Don't apologize. This was a good opportunity to learn about my father's case. It means a lot to me. So, you want me to take another commemorative photo? No thanks. That ain't how I do things, yo. We ain't having any of it. Alright then, you think there's literally anything else going on here? Doesn't really seem like it. That looks like one of the rock salt lamps, maybe? Hey, this rock salt lamp is lighting up the constellation chart. I see. Gemini and Taurus are constellations that can be seen in the winter. Ah, I didn't know that part. That makes sense. Since this is the Winter Palace, perhaps that explains the winter constellations made of sherbet. According to the pamphlet, the other palaces are made of crystal. And for the Summer Palace, I think it'd be more fitting if it were made out of shaved ice. Well, no, that would make it exactly the same as this room. He's just theorizing to himself. I'm happy to see them. It makes me happy. So, we good here? Miles, since we came all the way here, why don't we take a look around? Oh, well, since this room is so cold, I thought I'd go to a warmer room. If you're that cold, why don't you borrow my clothes? And in exchange, I'll borrow your jacket. That doesn't make any sense at all. No thanks. Let's try enduring this for just a little longer. All right, so there's more to this place. Okay, maybe, am I supposed to actually investigate maybe this part? For some reason, a giant block of ice is on display. I believe those would be the constellations themselves. There's a description written on the surface. Castor and Pollux. I believe that is, in fact, the Gemini. Every December, large meteor showers appear in the direction of these two stars. And so, mask to mask, and then those two are being rather noisy and distracting. Can't be helped. I should go look at another exhibit. All right, then. You're in the way. Sorry, miss. Okay, there we go. I just want to take a look at this. Thank you. There we go. A giant block of ice is being displayed here. It appears to be quite heavy. No, the inside must be hollow. On the surface, there's an image of the stars and a written description. Oh boy, I don't know, Palladius, also known as the Seven Sisters, a star cluster that comprises a part of Taurus. For all these stars to be grouped together as a cluster, the way of the ancient people must have been very imprecise. Well, yeah, freaking obviously, my dude. Alrighty, now that I've got some pictures of this room, let's check out the other palaces. Might as well see them all, since we're already here. I suppose you're right. Ah! That yell just now. It came from the fountain patio. Let's go, Miles! What's going down over here? God damn it! Larry! Why? Also, what's happening? Someone passed out on the floor. And that man there is freaking Larry! Why is it always Larry? Larry! What are you doing here? No, I'm getting ahead of myself. What exactly happened here? Edgy! I saw something that no one should ever have to see again. Harry, calm down. Why is there someone passed out here? I didn't do anything. He just fell down all of a sudden. That's the chef from before! This man, he can't be. Oh, Bim! Excuse me, but what is the matter here? You can't raise such a ruckus in the museum, boys. Wow, there is a lot going on right now. Huh? The scent is. Seems like he's still breathing, but this is a bad situation. Miles, it's not safe here. Get everyone out of here. Everyone, get away from that room right now. There's poison gas coming from it. Gas? That's next level messed up. God, they even walk similar. Mr. Shields, how was the victim? Looks like he breathed in a little too much of that poison gas. He's still unconscious, but not dead? According to the doctor in the ambulance, there are no external injuries or any other wounds. Thanks to our fortunate timing, we were able to save him before he was too far gone. That's incredibly rare for this series. But he's not out of the woods yet. He's currently being treated by a specialist in the infirmary. I see. Mr. Shields, is he an acquaintance of yours? Yeah, you could say that. He's Dane Gustavia. He was involved in the IS-7 incident. The pastry chef? So he was involved in the case 18 years ago. At least the other guy is doing all right. Is he a friend of yours, Miles? Regrettably. Yeah, you could say that. It is fortunate you were not hurt, Larry. What's you could say that's supposed to mean, Edgy? It means exactly what it sounds like, you absolute buffoon. How could you treat a childhood friend like that? That's just cruel. And also, when I'm dressed like this, I'm called Laurice. I don't remember how I even learned how to say that in the last time I had to say it. Whatever, he's just Laurice, you know. So don't call me Larry, it's Laurice. This man is Larry Butts. He's nothing but trouble. But he's one of my friends since grade school. Some time ago, he awakened to the calling of art and assumed the alias Laurice. But a Butts by any other name would smell just as much. He do be smelling like poo gas. Really? You two are childhood friends? I better report that to your old man too. I'm sure it'll bring him joy. He was always worried about you not being able to make friends. Good for you, Edgy. Aren't you glad to have a bosom buddy like me? Please don't make me think of a show, of a remake of Bosom Buddies starring Edgeworth and Larry. Nobody needs that. My father was worried about something like that? I'd much rather you talk about Phoenix. Sure, he's also a massive Dorcas, but at least he's a competent and pleasant individual. Anyway, what are you doing in a place like this, Larry? How many times do I have to tell you, Edgy, I'm Maurice? What are you doing in a place like this? Ugh. Don't glare at me when you talk. So you're gonna tell me, or am I gonna have to slap you upside your head? Isn't it obvious I've come here to study art? I'm gonna take Mandy on a date here, so I was just doing some scouting beforehand. Aren't you just using art as an excuse to go on a date? Not bad, Larice. Maybe you could introduce some pretty girls to me next time. Oh, now you're talking my language, dude. Oh, I think I'm getting a headache. By the way, Larice, did you notice anything strange when you found the victim? Oh, of course I did. I always see extraordinarily large amounts of suspicious activity anytime I'm around anything. Of course, it's never going to be easy to gain it, but I'm sure you know something. Nah, not really. Nothing that would make you say, I saw something that no one should have ever have to see. Oh yeah, that. I was just surprised when I saw that old dude fall down out of nowhere like that. I didn't do anything this time for once. Is there anything to brag about? Is that anything? Yay, it's her. Visitors, we wish to deeply apologize for the disturbance. I'm the curator of this museum. My name is Catherine Hall. She's also one of the people involved in the IS-7 incident. Hello there, Miss Kate. Oh, dang! She matured! Hair's still really cool. I wish it was shorter, but it's still cool. Bunch of shields. Thank you for your continued assistance. She was the woman we saw at the reception, so she's the curator here. We apologize for the inconvenience, especially since it's the opening day. No, you don't have to apologize for a thing, Miss Kate. I almost forgot. Let me introduce you to someone. This is Miles Edgeworth. He's Gregory Edgeworth's son. Oh, Monsieur Edgeworth's. Oh, she do be moving and a groovin'. Oh, she do got a sense of style all her own, she do. Oh, how wonderful. I met the son after 18 years. It is an honor to meet you, defense attorney, Miles Edgeworth. Wow, that was amazing. You still got that golden voice, Miss Kate. I'd say my voice is more so made out of bronze or maybe tin, but, you know, hopefully I wasn't abysmal. Actually, I'm a prosecutor. Oh, so you're a prosecutor. My most sincere apologies, Monsieur Edgeworth. This woman is very polite, but slightly odd. What with her moving and schmoving and grooving. Katie, could I, get your autograph right here, pretty please? Yes, if you so desire. Why do you want her autograph? Hey, don't tell me you don't know who she is! My, you really don't keep up with the entertainment news, do you, Miles? No, not if it's not the Steel Samurai, I could not care less. What? What's the unbearable atmosphere? She's a superstar actress who's been in tons of musicals and movies. She's a great singer, too. Well, being in musicals would imply she's at least passingly decent at singing, so I don't feel like you need to do that. Currently, I am the curator of this museum. I've already retired from the stage. Really? You seem so young for full retirement. Only 34? Wow. I finished filming my... Wait, it's 18 years. Dang, man, everybody was so young. I finished filming my role for my last movie a few days ago. My co-stars also said that they would come here once I opened the doors. And here you are, Monsieur Artiste. I return this to you. Thanks a bunch, Katie. I'll treasure it for the rest of my life. Oh, well. Looks like me and Larice share the same interests. Attractive women. That's not exactly an exclusive interest. So I gathered. Larry, you said you're here to study art. Why don't you practice drawing as well? Since you're here at Miss Hall's art museum. Oh! It would be an honor to have Monsieur Artiste sketch out exhibits. Huh. I guess even if you have some good ideas every now and then, Edgy, I'll do a bit of sketching for Katie here. Yeah, that'll go over fantastically. What an amusing person. Forgive the disturbance. Incidentally, who was the woman that was with you earlier? That was Madame Disalicia Scones. She is currently assisting in the treatment of Monsieur Gustavia in the infirmary. I guess she is a pharmacist. Would she still be able to do that? Even though I said infirmary, since this is an art museum now, it is only provisional. As I am the only staff member working here, I cannot take a leave of my duties for too long. Alicia Scones. I believe we've heard that name before, Mr. Shields. Yep. Looks like the whole gang from the IS-7 incident says the IS-7 incident is here. No, I doubt that's a coincidence. Yeah, that's a little too suspicious. Monsieur Shields, Monsieur Edgeworth, would you care for some hot tea? Oh, Miss Kate's tea. That takes me back. Yes, if you please. I do be a tea-drinking fella. Clatter, clatter. Let me get this platter. I hope the tea don't splatter. If it does, it really won't matter. I run out of rhymes. Now I must take my leave. I must explain the situation to the other visitors. All right, thanks for everything. Bye, nice lady. I hope you're still actually a good person. This smells like Ceylon tea. I should drink it before it cools. Slurp-a-derp. Yes, that's some good stuff. Oh, Ceylon tea is of very high quality. And its aroma of citrus. It does wonders for your concentration, right? Nani? Your old man said the exact same thing 18 years ago. It's weird that I remember that specifically, but I do. But the saucers back then were chilled. Today they're warm. Anyway, don't you think this current situation is rather unusual? You mean how everyone involved in the case 18 years ago was gathered at this museum, including Ray himself? Yes, I'd like to be in charge of this case, if at all possible. Friendship Squad! Mr. Edgeworth, sir, are you okay? Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Shields? Oh god, we ran so far. Like 13 flights of stairs on the subway cumulatively. Oh. When I heard that you were done in by the poison gas. Done in by poison gas? Oh, my sweet honey Kay. How about a hug after being parted for so long? It's been a day and a half. No! Geez, so you're perfectly fine. I can't believe you made us worry so much. Detective Gumshoe, what is the meaning of bringing Kay here? Well, she's part of the Friendship Squad, sir. I knew the gas was dangerous, so I tried to stop her, but God, man, you know her. No matter how much I ran and ran and ran and ran, I couldn't gain any ground. She's got quick leggy. When it comes to running away, no one is faster than the Yadagatasu. But you weren't running away from here. Oh, nope. He's ready for war! Mr. Edgeworth, I'm all set, sir. I'll start investigating the crime scene. Since there still might be some traces of gas in the room, I'll have to ask everyone to wait here. Very well. I'm counting on you. Good luck in there, Flatfoot. Wow, Gummy's so cool. He's just like a detective. He is a detective, but that's what he is. What did you think his job was up till now, Kay? Mascot for a car salesman? Yes, Edgeworth here. Mr. Edgeworth, looks like the poison gas is dissipated, sir. I don't know for certain, though. I'm just assuming. Ah, man, there's melty stuff all over. That's a bummer. Also, the sculptures look slightly different, and they've been ransacked a little bit. What the hell? Detective, calmly explain the state of the Autumn Palace. Wait, this is the Autumn Palace? It looks like the Winter Palace. Yes, sir. I'll start with the exhibits. On the left is a statue with 2 people. And on the right, there's a statue of an animal with 2 horns. A statue of 2 people and a statue of an animal with horns? Isn't that the exact same thing I saw in the Winter Palace just a while ago? Also, the room is wet with water thanks to the sprinkler system. And it also prevented the gas from harming anyone else. Could I just take a quick look-see-loo here? Just momentarily? Yeah, it's not an exact replica. The animal is covered in what appears to be a sheet, and instead of being covered in a sheet, the woman... I'm not even sure. Is she a mermaid in this? What am I looking at here? It also prevented the gas from harming anyone else. The sprinkler system. Is there a fire in the room? There are no signs of a fire, and the fire alarm hasn't gone off either, sir. The sprinklers in the museum are the kind that detects both smoke and fire. I guess poison gas counts as fire, or gas, duh. If it detects smoke, it'll send an alert to the security room. Yeah, I think the poison gas might have set off the alarm in the security room, sir. Is there anyone in the security room at the time? The only one working here is the curator, Miss Catherine Hall, sir. She's been in the reception booth opposite the security room ever since the museum opened. Did Miss Hall turn on the sprinklers? The sprinkler system could only be operated manually from the security room, sir. If it had been automatic, it would have sprayed water all over the exhibits. Since the system is manual, the situation can be examined and the exhibits moved if need be. Guess there would be more priority over the exhibits than the building. Only at a museum. Huh. Ugh, it's way too cold in this room, sir. Isn't this supposed to be the Autumn Palace? It's more like the dead of winter in here. The Autumn Palace is cold? I mean, autumn can be a cold season. I checked the thermostat earlier and it was set to 27 degrees. I couldn't believe it. How would the Autumn Palace be set to the same temperature as the Winter Palace? That's about all I know for now, sir. If I figure out anything else, I'll give you another call. You see, I'm counting on you, Detective. Alright, well, that's some information right there, at least. What did Gummy say? He said it feels more like winter in the Autumn Palace. I don't get it. I haven't been able to enter the room personally, but it should be possible to look inside after the police have finished investigating. I'd like to know what it's like in there myself. Isn't there anyone else who knows about the incident? Ah, there is someone. Miles' friend, right? Friend? Please not, Larry. I don't want to talk to him. Oh, he's such a nuisance. We have no choice but to listen to what he has to say for now. I am in intense pain from having this have to be a reality. Wait, you mean... Yes, unfortunately, it's Larry. Oh, you're here too, Kay. You're looking as cute as ever. I mean, at least it's a factual information that he's be spewing. Long time no see. It's Larry, isn't it? Okay, right now my name is Laurice. I am an artiste, that is why. Ah, so that's your pen name. Laurice, the artist formerly known as Larry. Wow, you really are a good girl, Kay. Nothing like edgy here. I don't know if Edgeworth would ever appreciate being called a good girl. Just throwing that out there. Larry, I have many things I need to ask you. What's this? Don't tell me you suspect me again. You're gonna say because I was first on the scene, I must be the culprit, aren't you? Larry, I have literally defended you on like 3 separate occasions. Why the hell would you think I'd do that? I never said anything like that. I only wanted you to tell me what you saw. You said you saw something that no one should ever have to see. Did you not? But now I'm saying I didn't see nothing and I didn't do nothing, so shut your face. Probably. Oh my, you didn't seem so confident at the end there. Oh boy, oh boy. There are somewhat troublesome circumstances surrounding this man. The saying, when something smells, it's usually the butt, still holds true 26 years on. One could say his tendency to attract trouble is legendary. Seems he's done something troublesome without even realizing it himself, as if that were news. I'll just have to try and extract the truth from him. Oh lord, are we gonna logic chess this nerd? Oh god, we are! Okay. Okay, you know what? Knowing Larry, I've experienced this guy a lot. I think I might know the right strategy to work with him. Let's find out. Okay, my goal is to expose whatever Larry is hiding. However, I didn't see nothing, I didn't do nothing. I'm just wearing a stupid coat. Larry is an extremely restless and troublesome man. Until he cools down, I'll just wait and see. So basically, I need to wait for him to stop freaking out so much. First, I'll ask him about his goal. There isn't something I can't handle? Or this isn't. I'll finish this quickly. There we go! Alright, why'd you come here, Larry? What was your purpose for coming to the art gallery? What? Are you saying that I don't belong in an art gallery? I mean, I'm just gonna say wait and see on that one. Hey, if you're not gonna talk, hold that pose so I can paint your portrait. And then I'll scribble all over the portrait I drew of you. Your paintings are all scribbles. All right, I guess we really are just giving him the cold shoulder silent treatment until he says something actually worth of value. I was just joking. I'd never scribble over my paintings, of course. They're works of art, after all. I don't think any of your works would qualify as art. Don't look out down on me! There are people who recognize my skills as an artist. Skills of an artist. Those people are blind! God, I wish I could say these things. Mandy is my girlfriend, but it's really my painting she fell in love with. That's why I'll sketch anything my girlfriend likes. Then why are you here on your own today? So what? Can't the guy with the girlfriend spend some time alone? Go spend time with her, you bad boyfriend. I'm gonna just keep waiting. It seems to be working, so why stop? Mandy said she's a Gemini. I thought she'd be happy if I showed her a sketch of it on our next date. Do you really have that much confidence in the sketch? Well, I'm not so confident about this one. But I thought she would be happy if I did a sketch of her astrological sign. God damn. So, yeah, okay, then you came to see the Gemini sculpture. That was your goal then. I see. That's just like you. To impress Mandy, you came here to see the Gemini sculpture, didn't you? Watanga! What? How'd you find out? Because you just unknowingly told me everything because you're such an incessant blatherhead. God damn. Well, then I'm not saying another word from now on. He's finally decided to remain silent. In that case, I'll be more relentless in my questioning. All right, so less waiting. I get you. I'll try to find out what he was doing here at the art gallery. Good, I basically burned through half of my time already. I'll expose his true motives. This shouldn't take long. He is so bad at his job. All right, Larry, let's just do this. All right, what did you do at the art gallery, my dude? What did you do in this art gallery? What's with that glare? I don't really remember anything. I didn't have a pamphlet, so I just loitered around the fountain patio. You forgot to get a pamphlet? Is that a thing? I'm gonna use it. Don't they give you a pamphlet at the reception booth after you pay the admission fee? Oh, is that right? So, the admission wasn't free, huh? You didn't pay? Don't tell me you sneaked in here without paying. I'm sorry! I didn't mean to do anything bad. It's just, there was no one at the reception booth. That's why I thought you could come in here for free. I mean, I actually, factually, literally cannot insult Larry over this. Fun fact, very quickly. When I was at the RTX convention, not, a few years back, I went to a merchandise area, and I didn't realize that there was a big line to enter the area, and you're supposed to leave the place from a certain exit. I thought the exit was an entrance, and because I just happened to wander in at the perfect moment, nobody saw me wander in that way, so I didn't have to wait in line. And now that it's been several years, I'm okay with admitting that I accidentally broke a very serious rule. Anyway. So, Miss Hall wasn't there, you say? That's interesting. Miss Hall wasn't at the reception booth? Yeah, it didn't look like there was anyone on the other side of the desk. Come to think of it, Gumshoe did say something about that. Miss Hall was busy activating the sprinklers from the security room. Because of the incident, she had to leave her reception booth. Poor Katie. She went to all that trouble to open up the place. Now the art gallery's star attraction, the Winter Palace, is completely ruined. So, you know about the Winter Palace, then? Interesting, that. Alright, you're certainly well informed about the Winter Palace for someone without a pamphlet. The Winter Palace is where your gold Gemini sculpture is located. You had your sights set on the Winter Palace from the beginning, didn't you? Watanga! Ha 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 ha! Ain't that nice? What? How did you find me out again? That's right, my goal was to see the Gemini sculpture. From the very beginning, the Winter Palace was the very reason why I came here. He confessed quite easily. You can never tell anyone with this. You can never tell anything with this man. Next, I'll ask for further information regarding the Winter Palace. All right, sure. He may still have some fight left in him. I'll watch his reactions and extract the information I need. Oh, that's a lot of options. Did you enter this place? Did you see the place? I have no use for you. Did you actually go in? Larry, did you also enter the Winter Palace? But what's with that look of distrust? Sure, I tried going in, but you couldn't get in? Is that a thing? You tried to go in, but you weren't actually able to, right? Yeah, that's about right. I wanted to go in, but then the old geyser collapsed. I was a little freaked out. It was because of the victim, then? So you couldn't get in because the victim of the poison gas collapsed? Yeah, he fell right out of the Winter Palace. I'm sure the victim emerged from the Autumn Palace. which makes no sense. Why would it be the spring, summer, winter, and then autumn palaces? And why are they so identical? There's so much confusion. Plus, there's the fact that that obviously should be the Winter Palace. If it weren't for that poison gas incident, I'd be in there sketching the Gemini sculpture right now. Mary must have mistaken the Autumn Palace for the Winter Palace. That aside, it seems his goal was to sketch the sculpture. This should be a useful clue. Oh, then I guess, well, what did you see in the Winter Palace then? Larry, did you see anything in the Winter Palace? You're still hung up on that? Didn't I say that I didn't see anything? I started to think that it wasn't such a good idea to come into the art gallery. I needed to leave soon to meet with my girlfriend. Perhaps I should try using that clue. Yeah, but what about your sketch? That was literally the whole point. You came here to sketch the sculpture for your girlfriend, did you not? I don't think you would give up that easily. You're friggin' Larry Butts. When have you ever given up on literally anything? Even after the victim collapsed, you could still see inside the room from the outside, right? What's up with that? Well, I may have gotten a tiny glimpse, but there's no evidence that I saw something scary in there, right? You saw something scary? What did you see? The finger waggle of justice shall see me through. My, I'm disappointed it turned out to be this simple. But, I mean, you are Larry. Larry, you saw something scary at the crime scene, didn't you? Edgy, you! Can you read my mind? No, I can merely remember the things that you said. In that case, there's no point in keeping any more secrets from you. Smug, of course not. You just told me everything of your own accord. It was a complete waste of time, but finally, it's checkmate. Everything with Larry is a massive waste of time. Alright, what's going down? I had my eyes fixed on the Gemini sculpture. You've mentioned that Gemini sculpture many times now, but I don't believe the sculpture you saw was the Gemini one. What? Was it a mirage then? Larry mistakenly thought he saw the Winter Palace. I don't know if he really was mistaken about that or not, but alright. Sure, I mean, this is pretty much the only thing I've got. For whatever reason, these things aren't in the proper locations. Take a look at this pamphlet. In the Autumn Palace, the Pisces, Capricorn, Aries, and Aquarius sculptures are displayed. Incidentally, I can confirm that the Gemini sculpture is located in the Winter Palace. Okay, but Miles, that is definitely not the truth, though. Therefore, the sculpture you saw could not have been the Gemini one. I knew it. Huh? I expected him to be a bit more shocked at the news. I thought it was kind of strange. I know I saw a single goddess. And that transformation was no mirage. Transformation, you say? Oh, you're curious too, Edgy? Well, nothing for it. Guess I'll have to show you. Show me? What exactly? I drew a picture of the very scene I saw back then. But I really can't believe what I drew. Picture? What picture? Oh, this one right here. Eh? But what is this disturbing picture? Is that sculpture weeping tears of blood? Maurice, this picture is scary. Okay, it scared me too. This Gemini sculpture suddenly transformed into a goddess right before my eyes. I couldn't help but scream. So, the victim collapsing wasn't what surprised him. What do you mean when you say transformed? I don't really understand it myself. The lower half of its body just turned into a fish. Oh! A fish goddess? Well, that would mean the Pisces sculpture, wouldn't it? In mythology, Pisces represents the fish that a goddess and her son transformed into. Really? So Pisces isn't just a couple of ordinary fish? I mean, no, but so few people bother to really look into any of that mess these days anyway. Edgy, you don't think that sculpture is cursed, do you? Those tears of blood turned the Gemini sculpture into a fish. Preposterous. You simply mistook the Pisces sculpture for the Gemini one. Oh, you put the sketch in your organizer? Even a sketch like this can be used as scrap paper after all. How could you? But it's strange. Why did only the lower half of the sculpture transform? Uncle Ray is a bit curious about what went on in the Autumn Palace. Indeed. I wonder if someone tampered with the Pisces sculpture. Nope, getting a call. Yes, Edgeworth here. Mr. Edgeworth, we finished searching the room. The poison gas isn't a threat anymore, so you can enter the crime scene. Right, good work, detective. Well, let's friggin' do it. Seems we can enter the Autumn Palace now. Nice timing, Mr. Detective. Let's go right now. I want to see the Pisces sculpture. If Kay's going, I'm going too. Larry, that's weird. I was planning on bringing him along anyway. Right then, let's proceed to the Autumn Palace. Friendship Squad and Larry, away! So this is the Autumn Palace. Certainly does resemble the Winter Palace. I've been waiting, sir. Aren't you that hairy butts guy? Hey, that was his original name. Wrong! I'm Maurice, whatever you have it. Never mind that, detective. Your report, if you please. Roger that, sir. Well, we discovered a used gas burner during our investigation. The nozzle was still warm when we found it, so it may be related to the incident. Was it used to heat something? Probably something to end up setting off the sprinkler system. That'd make sense. Was that ladder always there on the ground? It was probably used by the person who set off the poison gas. The poison gas was released when someone lifted the lid off the glass case, sir. Ooh. Seriously? The Pisces sculpture. Seems like you know about it, sir. Well then, do you know what the sculpture next to it is? Since we're in the Autumn Palace, it would probably be the Capricorn sculpture. As expected of Mr. Edgeworth, I thought it was Taurus myself. It was thrown off as it was covered by this weird cloth. That's interesting. The fluorescent cloth? I wonder what it's doing here. Evidence from the IS-7 incident? That's peculiar. No matter what it is or how it got here. The sculptures in this room are all covered with this fluorescent cloth. And because they're hidden, it makes me want to see them even more. Let's take a look. It's in a book. Green Rainbow! Rainbow Light, that is. You thought it was a purely randoms reference. Wow, they're beautiful. Oh. Well, those are the other sculptures, yeah. How did those two transform into different sculptures? You don't think the transformation Larry saw was in fact the moment the cloth wrapped around the lower half of the Pisces fell? See, Edgy? It wasn't a mirage or a mistake after all. Hey, Miles, there's sure something strange about this room. It looks exactly the same as the Winter Palace we were in just a moment ago. Yes, I agree. Perhaps the sculptures were hidden to make it look like the Winter Palace. If you wrap the cloth around the lower half of the Pisces sculpture, it looks like Gemini. Capricorn is half fish too. Hide the lower half and it resembles Taurus. The remaining two, which couldn't be altered with trickery, were covered up. That makes sense. The Autumn Palace was made to look like the Winter Palace. So it seems, Mr. Shields. It looks like we'll need to conduct an investigation of the Autumn Palace too. And then someone said hold it, who? Oh, why are they here? All right. Mr. DeBest and Judge Courtney. The Wonder Twins themselves. Hey, you guys again? This is a problem. You see, this is my crime scene. Mr. Edgeworth, it seems my power is insufficient. If you're here, then it would appear that you still haven't understood my warnings. Ugh. Furthermore, you know full well your reckless actions will cause trouble for that detective. God, you're exhausting. In the name of the goddess of lie, pass judgment. You got it all wrong, pal. I was the one who asked Mr. Edgeworth to investigate. Really? Well then, Flatfoot, I'll have to do that. That? Yeah, that. Right. Cut your salary. Looking forward to your next payday? I've always wanted to say that. You're the last person I want cutting my salary, pal. Hold it, DeBest. I'm only cooperating with the police as a witness to this incident. Detective Gumshoe is not to blame. So that's how it is. Well then, should I be raising a salary? No, that's not what I meant. But it would be really nice to get my salary raised. Your mercy is deeply moving, Sebastian. But past transgressions must lead to future judgment. You mean the past transgressions of solving two incredibly difficult to solve cases that you would have definitely botched? All right. Prosecutor Edgeworth, and all in his company, departed once from this holy site. But that's... we only just got here! The one given the goddess of law's blessing for this incident was Sebastian. Why are you always with this guy? In other words, Mr. DeBest is the prosecutor in charge of this case. That's right, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening performance is over. Besides, I've already got my eyes on the culprit. It's probably Larry. What? Who, pal? Well, naturally, that artist. Oh, what a shock. Hey, what's going on, Edgy? Don't ask me. I can't understand his reasoning. I'm gonna be honest with you. He's really bad at this job. Tisk, tisk, tisk. If you can't understand how the best prosecutor thinks, it simply shows how inculpable you are. Oh, that's not even a word. It seems he doesn't know what inculpable even means. That's right, Sebastian. Prosecutor Edgeworth is quite incapable. Yes, he's incapable. She just nonchalantly corrected him. Don't underestimate my intelligence gathering skills. I just came from the infirmary and asked the doctor there about the cause of the poison gas. And what was the cause? Some normal substance? What was its name again? Hold on a second, I'll call the doctor to make sure. Oh my god. Since Sebastian is on the phone, I'll answer for him. In that case, why didn't you tell us before he called? The poison gas was caused by the mixing of two different types of chemicals. Their names are normalium and phtalium. So, what are those chemicals exactly? Normalium is a red liquid that's commonly used in everyday products. It can be found in paint and detergent, among other things, but it is not toxic by itself. Right, found in paint, I get you. So you're saying that it's a substance readily available to anyone? Yes, but phtalium, on the other hand, is not so easy to obtain. This name sure sounds dangerous. What's it used for? Murder. It's the active ingredient of a white pesticide known as Megatoxin X. Phtalium is itself also has a deep white color, but it's not really sold in stores. So a red liquid and a white liquid makes a pink liquid, and yeah, wouldn't you know it, right in that sketch, pink goo. I get you. It's nearly impossible to obtain domestically. Right now, we're looking into how the chemical was obtained. I'm thinking maybe the statue didn't cry tears of blood, but somehow the mixtures? I guess that makes sense. Although I don't know how. Okay, I finally found out the name of those chemicals. Judge Courtney has already told us. We don't need to hear it again. Fine then, I'll cut to the chase. You know that normalium found the poison gas is also used in paint, right? Today, out of everyone who visited the art gallery, the only one carrying paint was that artist. You're treating me as a culprit just because of that? I object to the red paint on the palette you're carrying. Hey, Edgy, don't you think this prosecutor is kind of... The best part, the single best part, is that Larry has valid reasons to say that. He's not wrong! Indeed! Although I've only known him a short time, his logic is always absurd. Hey! Don't ignore me! It's alright, Sebastian. Why are you this way with this guy? They're only doing it because they think it's hilarious how bad at your job you are. Like the first star to appear at night, show us reasoning that shines the best. The first star shines best? You're not bad. Hey, you guys better listen to too. Alright, here we go. What's your logic? That artist was the first to discover the victim, so naturally he's the best suspect. The poison gas was caused by normalium, the chemical found in paint, right? As he was carrying paint near the victim, he would have had the best chance. The paint, along with being the first witness, well, that pretty much proves he's the culprit. So, what do you think, Justine? We cannot ignore the possibility. Well then, Mr. Artist, please tell us the truth. Did you leave red paint at the crime scene? Or else, did you cause the poison gas to go off? The only thing I leave behind is my bond of love with you. Please watch what you say. My gavel is already prepared to declare you guilty, upside your head. Please pay no heed to this man's statements. Hey, you guys! Ignoring my reasoning just because it's flawless won't do you any good. Mr. Edgeworth, if you've already admitted defeat, you should take your leave. Even though I don't really have time to deal with your ridiculous reasoning. Fine, let's just blow through this, like, as fast as humanly feasible. Yeah, alright, so he discovered the body, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the poison gas was caused by the Norlium. Yeah, but it was also caused by an entirely different thing. You know, something that's not exactly easy to obtain. How the hell did Larry have you know, carry around and use basically an ingredient for pesticide? You want to explain to me on that one, Mr. Bestie? Smug, smug, smug. Mr. the Best, your logic is more akin to a shooting star than a shining star. It shines the best like a shooting star, right? It may shine brightly for a brief moment, but then it burns itself out. The poison gas originated from inside the glass case of the Pisces sculpture. Exactly! So that's where the artist set off the gas, right? He used the Norlium in his red paint. As your senior, let me give you one piece of advice. I mean, I could give you over 50,000 and it still probably wouldn't help you much, but listen to the explanations of others. The poison gas was caused by mixing both Norlium and Fatilium together. The Norlium contained in the red paint is not enough by itself. Really? But I thought I heard that Norlium caused the fatality. Don't tell me you just misheard the forensics report! Darn it! By the time Larry discovered the victim, the room was already filled with poison gas. Is it time for you to realize how incapable you really are? Hey! What do you mean by incapable? Are you asking us what we mean by incapable in the sense that you're wondering how we think you're incapable? Or do you not know the meaning of the word? You tried to use that word earlier and you still don't know what it means. He means to say you are lacking in ability. Yeah, I know, duh. Incidentally, incapable has a completely different meaning. I get it! You're making fun of me again, aren't you? I'm actually trying to help you out and make you look less like a moron in the future, but sure, whatever. Disregard my actual legitimate advice as just criticism. That's totally mature. I'm merely saying you were incapable in your investigation. Before you insult Sebastian, I still have some doubts about your own statement. Of course you do. What kind of doubts? For all we know, Mr. Artist could have simply entered the Autumn Palace at an earlier time. That's... Moreover, do you have evidence that the red paint is unrelated to the case? The most important thing now is not the red paint, the red Normilium and the white Fatilium. Exactly how were these two substances mixed? I believe this is our main concern. Naturally. It was Sebastian's job to investigate that, and he failed. Were it not for your interference, we would have found that out by now. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that that is entirely inaccurate. I never intended to interfere. On the contrary, I'd like to cooperate. Don't tell me you're going to say you know the cause of the poison gas. How the poison gas started? I have something that may shed some light on this matter, yes, actually. Sebastian, do not fall for his bluff. Courtney, do you remember the last time you assumed that I was bluffing, and then it turns out I wasn't? I mean, I was, but I still got the right answer anyway. Come now, it's fine, really. Let's hear what he's come up with. If you say so, Sebastian. Come on, show us. How did the poison gas start? All right, then, fine. Here you go. Surely you're not saying that this was the cause of poison gas. God, you're stupid. It seems even you've noticed it. Duh! It really stands out. Those red tears that Larry saw were undoubtedly Normilium. Huh? Wait a second. If those were chemicals, does that mean a ghost set off the poison gas? I don't have time to play along with him. The red tears of Normilium could not have triggered the poison gas by itself. The red liquid was mixed inside the case to create the poison gas. What? Just where do you see evidence that the chemicals were mixed? That can be seen in this sketch. Are you blind, good sir? All right, then here we go. Here's the evidence. How about the giant honking pink puddle of goo? How about that, huh? A pink liquid can be seen flowing out from under the case of the Pisces sculpture. This is proof that the two chemicals were mixed. Hold on a second. I still don't get it. I'm very stupid. How does this show that Normilium and Fatilium were mixed? Did you fail kindergarten? Did you never finger paint? Since we have a self-proclaimed artist here, I'll let him explain. Larry, you fancy yourself an artist, so you should know about mixing paint, right? What do you add to red to make pink? Don't take me for a fool, Edgy. I'll have you know I graduated from middle school. You add white to red to make pink. It's common knowledge. Well, technically there's rose pink, baby pink, and several others. That's enough. Now, do you understand, Mr. DeBest? No, that's how it is. By mixing red Normilium with white Fatilium, you get a pink liquid. Hey, you did it! Another cookie for DeBest. Took him long enough. I see. It looks like Mr. DeBest finally gets it, or at least he's attempting to. Overruled, he's not figured anything out. Prosecutor Edgeworth, you have merely presented one possibility. Do we really know if the color was the result of the two chemicals mixed together? Oh my god. Furthermore, this sketch was drawn by the suspect. I cannot put much faith into it. I just painted what I saw. How could that be a lie? Mr. Artist, I did not permit you to speak. You literally have no authority to prevent people from speaking. So cold, but that's part of her charm. Yeah, I'm sure some people are into that. Of course, I intend to bring the truth to light immediately. I refuse to let you find the truth! The last time you did that, you made me look bad. It would not be wise to jeopardize your position even further. Aren't you going to answer my question from before? How do you know that Mr. Artist did not enter the Autumn Palace? If you cannot prove this, there is no room for you to argue any further. I give her crap, but every time she brings up a point, they are always very solid and good points that I do need to figure out. Hey, couldn't we find that out if we talk to the victim, Belle? The victim, Dane Gustavia, remains unconscious and in critical condition. Ah, that's right. Oh, she's been slamming the floor. Well then, Sebastian, we'll be investigating the crime scene now. All of you, please vacate the premises. Who's holding it now? Of course. If you were to take a stand in court, you'd cause a lot of trouble for the presiding judge. Boy, would he ever! Is there something you would like to say, Mr. Artist? Hold your horses, Miss Cool Beauty. My name is Justine Courtney. Please don't address me by such a strange title. Yeah, you can't make him stop. Oh, you finally told me your name. Pleased to meet you, Justy. I'm Laurice, but you can call me Laurice. Mr. Artist, please get to the point. I just remembered something I haven't had a chance to say yet. When I first got to this room, it was locked, so I couldn't go in. But then the old dude just suddenly fell through the door. It would appear that the palace rooms can be locked from the inside. But just because you say it was so, doesn't mean the door was locked. Without proof, your statement holds no value. We can corroborate that.
Objection.
Yeah, in come Ray. Well, why not Uncle Ray prove it to you? How can you prove such a thing? You would have had to try to open the door. Yeah, we did. After all, I just realized part of her hair looks kind of weird. Anyway, we can confirm the room was locked too. Right, Miles? Yes, I remember it as well. Tried to open it, didn't work. It was a huge bummer. Winter Palace should be right here, y'all. Nani? Due to be closed. That's odd. We've already opened the museum. Until the gas outbreak, no one could have entered this room. I don't care about your facts! Perhaps the suspect entered the room with the victim during the gas outbreak. As you can see, this man did not inhale any of the gas, unless he has such low brain function that he doesn't actually need that much to go for and he can just breathe in the gas without negative repercussions. If you told me that was something Larry could do, I'd honestly believe you, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that's probably not the case. If you examine his belongings, you'll find he wasn't carrying a gas mask either. Is that so? Well, then I have no choice but to agree. Dang. Well, that was easier than I expected. Anyway, I presume this clears up any suspicion surrounding Larry. It seems Mr. DeBest's logic was off again. Wahaha! Not exactly, I just didn't have enough information, that's all. Poetry. Therefore, my reasoning was just before its time. He sure has a grand way of saying that things didn't work out for him. In that case, there is one more suspect who has yet to take the stand. Mr. Artist, you are free to go. Huh, but I wanted to talk to you a little more, Justy. I will murder you. Overruled. You're Cold demeanor leaves me mesmerized all the more. Larry, you're weird. The other suspect is a pharmacist by the name of Delicia Scones. It would have been difficult for this artist to obtain the Fatilium from Megatoxin X, but a pharmacist may have knowledge of how to do that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. There is no court! Sebastian, it would be best if we brought her in quickly. Best if we brought her quickly? Sounds good! Leave it to me! Hey, Flatfoot, keep up with the investigation. Oh my god, got it. Don't tell me Judge Courtney suspected her from the very beginning. So Mr. DeBest's logic wasn't any help at all. It was just literally to waste our time. Judge Courtney, what is her deal? Her deal will be seen at a later point, it seems. Of course. The plot do be a thickenin', though.